theme of collaboration, really, isn't it? Because obviously we had the collaboration between Koenig & Bauer and Durst, and now we have a collaboration here between Siegwerk and DJM, who are an integrator. So actually, just introduce yourselves first. Thomas, start with you. Just explain who you are and why you brought your customer with you.
Sure. So, yeah, my name is Thomas Lehn, working for Siegwerk Druckfarben since 6 years now. Chemist by education, and I have a background in R&D, so working 4 years for the good old flexo engraver business. Everything was easy. Then I moved to inkjet, so since 2 years I'm now responsible for the water-based inkjet business, and I'm here today with Dick.
That's me.
Dick, introduce yourself.
I'm the founder and the owner of DGM. Yeah, so the D stands for Dick, the G for Jacob, and M for my last name, Van der Maal. So that was very easy to find the company name, yeah, short. Well, we develop everything above the printhead to make it more reliable. We deliver worldwide our solutions as an integrator, so on existing lines, you know, because we think that hybrid is the next future for the next 10 years at least. You know, you cannot buy one unit and you are limited by what the supplier tells you to run, and you already have the experiences of 10, 20, 30 years of your machine. Yeah? And if you put their digitalization on top of, yeah, there's a world of opportunity. And what we do is we tell the limitations of technology, because there are a lot of limitations. And if you know those limitations, there's a world of opportunities. Yeah? So, and I think that sustainable, yeah, is everybody talks about it, but start to accept the limitations. Yeah? Then you can move forward much, much faster.
We'll talk about that in a moment. I just want to get a little bit more clarity on your business. So you're an integrator building technology for customers.
Yes.
And what kind of customers are they?
We started in the addressing, yeah. Then we starting in the direct mail, yeah, trans-promo, that kind of things, and huge finishing lines running up to 200, 240 meters a minute. We went over to the packaging industry, where we are able to achieve 400 meter full variable barcoding on paper bags, yeah, for a big company, yeah.
And building technology from scratch?
From scratch, yeah. So we only buy the printhead and everything on top, yeah. For certain technology we have our own electronic, for other technologies we buy them. Ink management is fully done by us, the RIP is real time, built by ourselves. The integration, yeah, is done by ourselves. The user interface, yeah, which is very, very important, because it's always something additional for the operator. So it has to be simple. So we try to make it one touch. And the most crazy thing I did last year is that I have to put just a button to start my software. So think about, you have a touchscreen, but that customer wants for his operator to have just a button to start the software. So then we do that. Yeah, yeah, you laugh about it, but this is really the truth. Those guys are used to work with a button. Okay.
So Thomas, you said to me, I'm going to bring a client with me.
My favorite client.
Your favorite client. Why did you choose to bring Dick with you?
I mean, we heard a lot about silos today and about joint development from Screen, from Fuji, from Sauer Essig. And we heard that inkjet is still in its in a rapid development phase, and that we need to bridge the missing skills in the industry. But to be honest, whom from the audience is into packaging? Just raise your arms. I guess it's more than you, huh?
Yeah.
But who can offer everything? So from substrate to ink, standalone, print solution, the print heads, the dryings, the migration testing, ink, film, fastness. Who can offer everything? Nobody. Ah, one person. Okay, congratulations.
Maybe if HP were here, they'd argue they could offer a lot of this. Maybe.
But the truth is, today you need to cooperate. You need to develop something together with other people. Otherwise, it will not fly. To optimize single solutions or single components, that will not untap the full potential of inkjet. That's just not going to happen. So we need to work together with our clients, with our partners. We need to do these customer-oriented solutions, and that's what Siegwerk is used to. So we love to do it. So I'm happy to go the extra mile whenever necessary. And with DJM, we found just a good partner who's well positioned and experienced to do these tailoring, these target-oriented work. And in inkjet, we have the benefit, at least that's my perception, that we can offer something new to the market. It's not just a me too product. So we are not just exchanging ink on a flexo press or on a graver press. But some customers, they move into inkjet for the first time. So we can offer really something new. But then we should use the chance to do all this optimization, to do this rapid learning up front. I don't want to realize at the customer that my ink is failing. I mean, if we fail, we should fail early and fail cheap together with our customers and together with our partners. We need to have this iterative approach. Yeah. I mean, I'm from R&D, and I can tell you there are 1 million ways not to formulate an inkjet ink. But that's something you don't want to learn at your customer. Yeah. But not at the final user, so to say. I mean, you're my customer, but not at the final user.
We've talked a lot about this with other ink manufacturers, and they will always say, start with the ink first.
Yeah, start with the ink first, start to talk first. I mean, we can only succeed when the final customer is succeeding. So it needs to be an iterative approach. That's really needed to grow also this business. I mean, inkjet and flexpack, it's tiny. You know? The number of the installed asset base is really small. I mean, Bobst and Screen, they can tell you. It's not a major market. It's still growing. But if it's growing, this is also offering a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances. Nobody really knows what to do. I mean, we even don't know what ink technology will be the winner. So I know UV, I know water-based. Today I learned that there's also something like oil-based inkjet. Let's see how this is developing. But here, that's really this ecosystem inkjet, this inkjet universe, which we need to develop together.
So tell us a bit more about the kind of the working relationship, the projects that you've been working on together, and what they look like.
I think what we always do is when we get a request from our customers, we first ask the substrate. Because substrate, nobody wants to change the substrate. So what we need an ink. So we ask Thomas to join us in the conversation with the end customer. We are not an expert on inks. They have to deliver. Yeah? And we have to make it come true. By the technology. So we really work always in a triangle from substrate, inks and printhead technology, and then we come to a solution. But also we face and we show the customer their limitations. They need to change if they want to achieve certain goals.
When we talked before, Dick, you were quite critical of some of the technology out there.
Yes, you know, you learn by falling. You learn all the limitations of technology. Sustainable is to start at 0 and run up to 300 meters a minute or 400 meters, without any waste. But then the technology, your printhead technology, cannot do that. So you learn from that. Then you do investigations with other experts in the market, and that is what we tell the customer. Then, okay, listen. This technology has these limitations. Is that fitting to your application? And is that acceptable?
Yeah, that's a lot about this consulting, so talking to the customers. I mean, it's not just putting ink on the machines, press the start button and then starting to print. That, I mean, would be great, but it's not reality. So behind the scenes, and that's not visible to the end customer, there's a lot more to do to start printing. We always say putting ink on the machine is the last step in a long process. It's rather a cross-technology approach where you need to have mechanical engineering, electronics, driving software, printhead integration, ink chemistry drying. So you have this cross-technology approach, and that's really crucial. So if we have a customer approaching us, and we have a lot of customers from the good old flexo and graver business who wants to go to inkjet, if they approach us, they always ask, what can we do with inkjet? What do you want to do with inkjet? And then we need to have the discussions also with our clients, so with DJM, for example. So what is possible and what is not possible? It's always better to have realistic goals. I mean, nobody wants to fail after 18 months in a project. Yeah. So tell your clients what is possible and what's not possible. You can do something, you can try something new. But again, so rather fail early and fail cheap and be realistic what you want to do.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be anyone in the audience that disagrees that inkjet is a great solution.
No, it's a great solution, yeah, definitely. But
It's the future.
Yeah. Any
it's
questions?
not that easy.
Any questions from the floor on this? Does everyone know these two companies?
Siegwerk, Druckfarben, known analog.
Obviously,
Steve.
Siegwerk, you develop water-based things.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite interesting to understand the challenges about water-based ink. You know, a lot of people are using UV ink and it dries quickly and it's great.
Yeah.
We all want to move towards water-based ink technology, but it's really difficult. It's because it's very much about the primer.
Yeah.
And you know, I know you're working on water-based inks, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, the main challenge in terms of ink chemistry, water-based inkjet inks, they contain a lot of water. And it's as easy as it sounds, which is fine for the ink, but you need to get rid of the water during the drying process. Yeah. And if you work or if you print on porous substrates, that's rather easy. So I would not say easy, but it's doable. But if you want to print on non-absorbing substrates, then the high water content, that's really an issue. But you need to have this high water content, otherwise you will never get to these really low viscosities which you need for Fujisamba, for Kyocera, for Ricoh, for all these printheads. So drying is always an issue, definitely. Next thing is you want to have a certain ink film fastness. And in analog, in the analog world, you just add polymers, you just add additives, but that's also more difficult in inkjet. You have certain limitations in terms of viscosity, in terms of pH value, in terms of conductivity. So the choice of raw materials is really limited. And if that wouldn't be difficult enough, we focus on flexible packaging. So this adds even more challenges to the list. Because you need to have the Swiss audience compliance, you need to have this Nestle approval, you need to have all these TÜV certificates for ink film fastness. So the space we have to formulate an ink, that's really small.
Mm. Did you want to add anything to that?
No, I totally agree, and I think a lot of people don't understand that we, as manufacturer of technology, we can stress the ink, yeah, that you have huge problems within a split second. You think it's water, yeah, it goes through your print head, yeah, but we can damage it within a split second, yeah, and nobody realized that, yeah. I don't think that there are a lot of people here who say, yeah, I knew that. Yeah, but that is what we're working on. So we asked those guys, how can we treat your ink in the best way? Mm. And the disadvantage for our solutions is that a big part of the problems are happening inside a printhead. We don't have access to that. Yeah? So the stress of the ink is happening inside the printhead. But also with my ink management, I can do a lot. Yeah? To make it feel comfortable and that you can run your production, yeah, in a sustainable way without any waste, yeah, and that is what we're working on every day. That's our challenge, and we don't do it on our own. We really need those guys.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
We need to partner up, and it's not just the ink manufacturer or the printhead integrator. It's also the printhead manufacturers and also drying equipment and curing equipment. We had these discussion from Zeal, so substrate pre-treatment. A lot of people who need to work together, really need to unite their efforts and their strengths to get a ready-to-use solution to the market.
Yeah, brilliant, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause.